Stop that crying at once! Unable to stop crying after the death of my parents in the conflict between witches and humans, Gran snapped those words at me. Gran, do you not want to see Mom and Dad again? I feel so sad just remembering the two of them. Your tears won't bring back the dead. A whole lot of good that blubbering will do. When I looked up at Gran's face, she seemed like she was about to cry herself. If I keep crying all the time like this, it'll only make Gran cry too. So, I promised myself that I'd never cry again. After living deep in the forest for many years, Gran suddenly became sick. No medicine seemed to work, and we grew more scared by the day. What saved us were two traveling witches. A witch with long, flowing blonde hair, Miss Aura, handed me a ring inset with a blue gemstone. Tell me, what is it that you wish for? Coaxed by her gentle voice, I told her my wish. Please, save my grandmother! As the words left my lips, the blue ring began to glow bright gold. It then became a ball of light covering Gran. When the light faded, Gran's pained breaths began to ease. Oh, it worked. Gran, everything will be all right now. We can still be together for a long time yet. Suddenly, I lost all of my strength and felt on the verge of fainting. My consciousness faded as soon as the other witch with aura caught my fall. When I came to, the witches had long gone. I missed my chance to thank them. After the two witches left, Gran and I spent many peaceful days with one another. I grew taller, and Gran grew more wrinkles, as we both aged side by side. One night, Gran handed something to me. In the palm of her hand was a brooch with an emblem of a bluebird on it. I couldn't face my own grief, and forced even you to endure your pain for my sake. I failed to teach the baby bird in my care to fly, chaining you forever to the nest. Be free now, my little bird. The next morning, Gran had passed away. My tears won't come out. But when my parents died, I could never stop crying. Like the lid of a jam jar crusted tightly shut, something inside me is stuck. But I don't know what that something is. Am I not sad? Have I been resenting Gran this whole time? How can I be this heartless? What should a free bird do? I can't think of anything. Anything at all. After all, I have nothing left. I never got to thank Miss Aura or her friend. Yeah, I should go thank them. I can tell them how peaceful the last years of Gran's life were, too. But as soon as I left the forest behind, I heard a rumor. The blonde witch is dead. With heavy steps, I headed for where she was said to have been laid to rest, the City of Graves. In the seemingly endless cemetery, standing beside Miss Aura's casket was the witch that had once traveled with her, rapier in hand. Just as I approached to greet her, she pointed the tip of her blade at my neck.
Have you come here to disturb the dead as well?
Her cold tone sent a chill up my spine, so I quickly shouted, I came to leave some flowers for her. The witch's breath caught, and she lowered her sword, which had begun to tremble slightly. When I peered up at her face, she was crying. This person can feel sad. The guilt I felt seeing her tears made my chest sting. As if confessing a deep sin, I blurted out my overflowing feelings of remorse. My grandmother died, but I haven't been able to cry at all. I'm a horrible grandchild, aren't I?
But you look like you're on the verge of tears as we speak.
I do? With those words as the trigger, I was suddenly hit by a flood of memories. Our life together in the forest. Her deeply wrinkled but warm hands. Her face that had once looked so close to tears. As I remembered all of this, I felt something hot rush to the corners of my eyes. Are these tears? Yeah. I really do love Gran. I don't want to believe she's gone. I want more time with her. I hate the thought of never seeing her again. Of course, it makes me sad. I laid my flowers atop Miss Aura's casket. Through the glass case, I could see her lying on her side. Years had passed since her death, but it didn't look that way at all. It was as though she were merely asleep. Even her once flowing locks were now cropped short.
You're the first to ever come here offering flowers.
The sword-bearing witch, Miss Rustica, grew silent after spilling those words. I was sure that if I asked what she meant, it would only make her sad again. That very instant, a group of men suddenly appeared, one holding a knife up to my neck. "Hand over that witch with the golden hair, or this girl dies," they said. I don't know their motive, but if we do what they say, Miss Rustica will be even more sad. "I won't let you take her!" I bit the man's arm with all of my might. My body was freed. But a sharp pain ran through my back, and my chest became red. "Miss Rustica, don't look at me like that." Something feels warm. Hands emitting golden light were pressing against the wound on my chest. The hands belonged to Miss Aura. As our eyes met, she gave a small smile. "I've always wanted to give you my thanks. Thank you, Miss Aura." At those words, Miss Aura's smile seemed to grow a bit sad, and she hugged me tightly to her. When I came to, I was in Miss Rustica's arms. The group of men had all vanished. Miss Aura was also nowhere to be seen. Is Miss Aura gone? Because she healed me?
No. You set her free. And me as well.
I can't let Miss Rustica be all alone. I quickly reached out my hand to her. Would you like to travel the world with me? Miss Rustica's eyes widened, but she then smiled softly and took my outstretched hand. Gran, I won't stuff down my grief any longer. I'll remember you and my parents, cry every last tear, and then move forward again. That way, I'm sure I'll be able to fly freely once more.